go. 1985 NBA champions. Looking to be 2020. I feel like watching somebody else's live while I'm doing my own. Let's see. I'm going to wait till I get actual viewers. I'm going to wait till I can share it into 3 different pages. There it is. That's much more convenient. Usually I gotta do a freaking arm and a leg to share this stuff. There we go. Perfect. And we are set. 6 viewers. Let's get ready. Let's get going. It's Keystone Corner with your host, Joey Blaze. Let me sit back a little bit. Try to frame myself in there. Alright, let's talk. First off, I want to start on a more serious note. First and foremost, I would like to take this time to announce that the Keystone Flag Football League has suspended Joseph Brumfeld effective the day of his last game for 1 year. This is due to Brumfeld's assault of a TBT player. That player will not be identified. Mr. Brumfeld is banned from Keystone until next September and will not be allowed at the field. However, he is still eligible to play in other leagues. That has no bearing here. That is the end of the subject. Next topic. Secondly, we have changed platforms. We're going to be on YouTube starting Sunday. You guys saw what we did in Washington County last week with the 2 games we had. Well, we're bringing it to Keystone. 1080p video, easy access, don't need an account. You'll be able to watch Keystone games anytime, any place, all on one channel. The Keystone Flag Football League. Subscribe to it. It's on YouTube. You know what? I'm going to help you all out. I'm going to put the link in the comments real quick. And we're going to roll from there. But yeah, Keystone Flag Football League YouTube page is now the home of our live streams going forward. It's a small channel. I'm going to actually put the link in the comments. There you go. Like and subscribe today. Share with your friends. Share everywhere. Let me do a quality check. Good to go. Alright, that's the announcements. That's all I got. So, before we look into next month, let's take a look at a summary of last month. We played a short amount of games, so I can basically recap all of them off the top of my head. Let's go an overview of what's happened so far in the Keystone Flag Football League. Opening weekend, we kicked off with TBT and Killer Bees. And it was going to be a big showdown, but the Bees were no avail for TBT as Team Blunt Talk went on to win 42-0. Largest margin of victory so far this season. TBT dominated that game against the Bees the first time around. Looked very sharp to start, but something a little bit of a familiar theme for TBT would linger in that game. Lack of numbers throughout the season. Second game that happened this season. TBT over Browns, 31-0. Game wasn't close, but it was a little bit closer than the Bees game. Browns fought hard. They kept it as close as they could. TBT not able to put up 40 this time around against the Browns defense that, like I said, played their asses off in that game. Third game of the season. Reckless Villains would come in about a week later, but before that was Green Machine. They defeated TBT as TBT defeated the Green Machine 20-0. TBT looked rough in that game. Didn't quite have enough numbers. The offense struggled to move the ball a little bit. The defense, however, stepped it up. They forced 4 turnovers on downs in the red zone. They forced Daniel Taylor into 3 interceptions, 2 for pick sixes, and ultimately a victory for TBT. However, they were not as successful in the next game as the Reckless Villains made their Keystone debut, defeating Team Blunt Talk by a margin of 19-0. And it was an absolute stunner. Blunt Talk's first loss in Keystone. Previously, Blunt Talk had never lost on that field. We've been undefeated. I want to say going into that game, man, we were 9-0 on that field. First time we've been shut out, too. 0. The Villains made an impact in their debut, and they can only get better from there. Next game, they showed how much better they got as they defeated the Killer Bees 36-13. Bees put up a fight early on. It was 15-13 in the first half. However, the Villains pulled away late in the game, and well, not late, but in the second half, and put up points to win it. Dominant performance in the second half. We saw what the Villains could be, and we're looking forward to seeing them again this upcoming week. The next game that happened, Green Machine over Browns, 12-6 in overtime. This was something to watch. This was a classic game, a fight between both sides. Well-fought battle from start to finish. The only overtime game you will see this year in the KFFL's regular season. And boy, it was a barn burner from start to finish. Absolutely great game between both sides. All of those games are available on YouTube to watch, the Keystone Flag Football League channel. Like and subscribe today. And now let's get to last week. I actually did a recap of this on Wake and Bake last Monday. But I realize not all of you watch Wake and Bake, because it comes on at 7 in the morning usually. You're already heading to work, or you're already at work. You know, it's your Monday morning commute show. I try to do it early so you get an idea what happened over the weekend, a bit of a refresher before we start the week. But I'm going to give a proper recap here on Keystone Korner of what went down the last Sunday we were here. Let's go back to it. First game, it was TBT and Browns, and, well, didn't look good. Did not look good to start. TBT came out with 8 at about 8:05. We had 8 of us. And that was a problem. We started the game out with Ross playing DB. Kyler Todd made his second start. We had... I can actually name everybody we had on that 8-man roster. Yeah, 8-man roster. Not our 9-man roster. This was our 8-man roster. But I don't feel like doing it at the moment. But it was bad. We only had 8 guys. Browns had the opportunities. I thought we were in trouble a little bit. I was a little concerned seeing Ross on Ruby. That was a matchup that would have, should have been exploited early and often. It just didn't look good. And then a glimpse of hope came in the form of a 9th man in the second quarter, as Gary Little called his coworker from FedEx to come over and play with us. Never played flag before. He has football experience, but he never played flag. And he just got out of bed. So, we got number 9, evened it up a little bit. By then, though, the game was actually already in our hands. It was 13-0. Browns could not do anything in that game. Nothing at all. TBT, on the other hand, did everything right, despite playing with 8 guys for the first 28 minutes of the game. Despite having Ross Collins playing DB, despite the fact that some of us had played semi-pro the night prior, TBT overcame, they prevailed, and it was a taste of sweet victory as they went on to defeat the Browns 25-0. Excellent game all around. 3 passing touchdowns by Kyler Todd, including an option pitch to Ant for a 4th on the run. Excellent performance overall by Team Blunt Talk. Very proud of my guys for that one. If I were to say one of my favorite coaching wins, probably that one, because it just didn't look good. We had 7 at 8, and then our 8th man showed up in the form of AJ pulling up, and then at about 8:30, 8:45 is when Griffin came, or Gary's coworker from FedEx. Yeah, that's how low we were. We went deep and deep to find anybody, including coworkers, friends, relatives. I was about to call my dad, even. You know, I was about to tell him, like, Dad, you got to help me out here. But I realized we had too many linemen at that point. We needed more skill guys. But it was the right guys in the field. We won the game. Big victory for Team Blunt Talk. Glad to get the W. And I will say, like, Ross, you're right. Griffin played well in that game. He played very well despite not playing flag before. Like, I applaud the effort. Like I said, I applaud the effort of everybody who played in that game. That was a hard start, 8 a.m. Some guys having to wake up from playing semi-pro that night. Other guys having to play flag already the day prior. It's a lot, but you know what? TBT, man, it's just what we do. We roll up, we play, we come, we see, we win. Every single time. Nah, not really. Not the next time. As the second game was Killer Bees versus TBT, and before the game, we got a couple more guys. Moats rolled up. Coley rolled up. McKeon rolled up. I went to the parking lot and rolled up. Different story, though. It's just one of those games where we still had enough guys. We came out of 11. Bees looked like they were going to come out and possibly give us a fight, and they did. It was actually a really tough game for us. Killer Bees, TBT, final score of that one, 20-14 Killer Bees. Let me get a recap of that one. We held our own defensively for most of that game. We really did. And what really killed us in that game was our inability to get to Devin on 2 touchdowns. Before that, our pass rush had been played really well. Sorry for the vibrations. We would get in the backfield, but back-to-back plays, we were unable to get back there, and that allowed Devin to exploit a big mismatch that we had. We had Griffin on BJ, and honestly, that was a big, big matchup. That was hard. BJ is one of the best players on the Killer Bees, one of the best receivers in the KFFL. Griffin, it's his first day. He's just a few hours on the job. It's a lot to be asked. The ball went up. Both guys went up. And it was BJ who prevailed, the more seasoned veteran. An excellent play. And then that was the play that ended up leading to a tie of the game. And then the next drive, we were unable to move the ball. And we punted. It only went to the 27. And then Devin found Houston in the end zone to give the Bees the lead and the win. 20-14. Killer Bees victorious. Excellent victory for the Bees. Big, big win for the Killer Bees. You got to start wondering just where this team could be heading to now. Big momentum boost by beating TBT. First win of the season. That's a critical win. The Bees needed that game. They needed that game. You cannot afford to start 0-3. Especially against an undermanned TBT squad. And they managed to overcome and win. They showed a lot of perseverance, a lot of fight. Shout out to the Killer Bees. See you in the semis. That's all I got to say. As we take a look at the new power rankings. Beginning with number 5, we got the Browns. Browns, I got some bad news. You guys are 0-3. I got some good news, though. Your midterm is not due till next week. I'll talk to you then. But, you know, you look at it, you take a look at it, the Browns have been struggling all season. And this TBT game, I think, is a bottom point for them. This is bottom. I don't think you can get much lower than that. Mostly because you lose to a team with only 8 for the most of the game. You can't. And honest, you just can't lose that. especially 25-0. The game was never in doubt. You got to win. If you got a man advantage, you got to win. It's 9-8. It's Ross Collins on Zach Ruby. You got to do something. Something. But, you know, I'm not going to be hard on you guys until next week when midterms come out. Then the teacher is going to be saying something. Moving on to number 4. Number 4 is TBT. Or as Darrell rightfully calls us at this point, TBD. I forgot to give a midterm review a couple weeks ago. I didn't really give any insight. Let me give a proper one this time around. TBT right now is unpredictable. You don't know what you're going to get with them. You don't know where they're going to go from one minute to the next. You don't know who's showing up. You don't know what is TBT at this point. I'm getting ADR 2019 vibes of not knowing what team's showing up from week to week. It's a lot of questions around TBT right now. Despite that, the team comes out fighting hard every week. That won't be an issue come November. We'll be ready. But right now, the way I look at it, TBT is a giant question mark. It's TBD at this point. We'll see. I mean, you take a look, the first 2 games, Bees and Browns, excellent job. Destroyed both squads, made it look easy. Didn't even finish the Bees game. That was a total annihilation. Then you look at the Green Machine game, and there was a struggle there, but the team just managed to stand up every single time and stop the Green Machine. And then you take a look at the Reckless Villains game, and that was the low point of the season. Didn't score, gave up 19, which is actually was actually the second most points we had surrendered up to that point in team history. Yeah, which is wild to think about. And it was to a team that played their first game ever. First game ever. And they smacked us in the mouth. Like it was nothing. I was actually a little shell-shocked with that. I couldn't believe what I witnessed. I didn't think it would go that way. But, you know, it's just how it is sometimes. You have tough days, but, you know, Reckless Villains, they're showing me a lot right now. And we'll get to them in a moment. But TBT at the moment, to be determined. To be determined. Number 3, we got the Killer Bees, 1-3. Well, they got the win at least. Or sorry, 1-2. I'm actually sorry. I didn't mean to predict a loss on Sunday. Nah, I'm not predicting a loss yet. 1-2. Sorry about that. Bees beat TBT. Like I said, did an excellent job rallying back from a deficit. Found the right matchups in the end. Fought hard from start to finish. The defense stood up and stopped them when needed the most. The offense played their asses off. Killer Bees looked really good. And I really think this squad is starting to get better. They're making progress. That first game was a disaster. That first game, you got to consider, up to that point, the Bees had been outscored 126-12 in their previous 4 games. That was a massive setback. And then you look at the Villains game, and that didn't help either. But this TBT game, they got the win. They scored. They played defense. They kept the team under 30. That really boosted them up. I think the Killer Bees are starting to turn a corner. They're getting better and better as the season goes on. And I think this weekend against the Browns will be a measuring stick of where they are. And we're looking forward to seeing what the Bees can do. Because right now, there's some buzz around the Killer Bees. Number 2. Number 2 is the Green Machine. Green Machine did not play last week. Last time we actually saw the Green Machine was when they defeated the Browns. And so I don't really got much to say about the Green Machine. Mostly because they've only had about 2 games up to this point against us and the Browns. Sorry about that. Green Machine, I got at number 2 at the moment. Second best team in the league. They played TBT very well. Could have easily pulled out a W. Had a first day of issues. It's a new team. It's definitely a new team. The Green Machine is a very new team. They are starting to get better and better, and they've shown a lot in those first 2 games. They almost beat TBT, and they beat the Browns in OT. I think Green Machine is potentially the second best team in this league right at this moment. And I'm really excited to see what they can do. Joining us right now, if I can get him on, is his first time on live ever, actually. In the 3 years I've done live, I've never had this guy. Here he is. A former teammate of mine, Johnny Coacha. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem, Coach Joe. Anyways, Johnny, Green Machine, you guys are in your 3rd week. I happen to understand you're the defensive coordinator.
I am.
Man, you've grown up so much since you first came on the scene, brother. I still remember your little baby face coming to Survivors 5 years ago, looking shy
Right.
as hell, fresh out of high school.
Right.
You've grown up, man. You have grown up.
I appreciate it, man.
You moved up in the world, Johnny. You're moving up. Always had faith in you, brother. But
Thanks, man. I
Johnny,
appreciate it.
this season, Green Machine seems to be the right direction. Let's talk about your direction over the last year, though. You came out of retirement shortly after the Summer Sizzler last year with the program.
hmm
Uh, what prompted you to come back after taking
Man,
the spring of 2019 off?
I was bored and I was dealing with a lot of stuff with work and shit. So I decided, you know what? I miss football. I'm coming right back.
And we're excited to have you back as well, Johnny. You're one of the always most underrated players on terms of pulling flag in the league. Excellent player, smart football mind. Um, we noticed you've been on Green Machine for a bit. Is that the only thing you got going right now, or is there a chance you might pop up for the Cramley sometime soon?
Well, I talked to Swole about the whole cram. I work Saturdays now, so I can't really make to every game Saturdays. So fall season kind of hold off in Washington County. So
Understandable. This is a big opportunity for you to go down to Keystone and help develop a very young team.
that's
You
the
guys,
point.
yep, you guys have been together since about January. Tell us, what has been the biggest challenge in developing a lot of new guys? Because you got a lot of rookies on that team. Devontae Corum, for instance, 19 years old, fresh out of
Yeah,
Martinsburg.
it's actually not that hard to actually know. It's common sense when it comes to the defense, basically, and just kind of step up, cover, pull flags, and body people up. That's all you gotta do. It's easy as that.
Definitely, yeah. No, you got it down. You're good to go. So Green Machine, let's go through the start of the season. You guys took on TBT in the first game. Walk us through what went down in that one.
Of course, our offense couldn't do anything, especially in the red zone. I mean, we drove the ball down on you guys, but couldn't really finish. And our defense, I think we did pretty damn well against you guys. I mean, we only hold you to 6 points. But there was a lot of miscommunication on defense. No one was playing their zone, and people were just getting open. That was the only thing. But, of course, we fixed that shit up by the next game. So,
And we saw in the next game as the Green Machine defeated the Browns 12-6 in an overtime classic for the ages. Your thoughts on that one looking back?
I mean, I got to get him the Browns. I think they're actually got a lot of good players, honestly. They just need, to work better on offense. Their defense is not too bad. But, I mean, it's just like us. We're young, crappy team, basically trying to work up the ranks. I don't know. I mean, when it came down to like the overtime, our offense still can't do shit, honestly. And so I kind of stepped up on offense and got that game-winning touchdown, though.
Was that you in the back of the end zone? I
That
couldn't
that
tell from far away.
yeah, that was me. I
That
guess
was an
I kind of.
excellent play from Daniel to you. That was a beautiful play.
The funny thing is, Will called it. Will's like, "Yo, Johnny, deep ball." I was like, "All right, I got you." So I mean, I kind of stepped up and kind of clutched the game for us because when they scored the touchdown, I picked off their 2 points. So I mean, keep it a tie.
Yeah, and it was a big boost for the Green Machine as you guys got the victory to start 1-1. But this upcoming weekend, we talked about the showdown of the century last night with Misfits and Showtime. I think
Hmm.
Green Machine and Reckless Villains may measure up to that in a big way this upcoming week. A lot of history going on between these two. A lot of people play together. A lot of people from
Yeah,
West Virginia on both sides in Virginia.
you right about that?
Everybody knows each other. I feel like this is going to be a battle.
It might. I mean, I know how TJ plays, so I kind of got a little game plan for him. But the other people on his team, I don't really know much. I just know they're fast, so just kind of figure out how to stop them as well.
That's going to be the hardest part. That offense has been electric so far for the Reckless Villains. They have scored 55 points in 2 games, averaging 27.5 points per game, the most in the Keystone Flag Football League. Um, you have to say, this Villains tech, how are you going to stop it?
No deep balls, man. Trying to stop that mainly. I mean, I don't think they're going to throw short. If even they do, we just gotta body them up because I know they all got shifty hips and they can go at it. So
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for sure, for sure. Any other thoughts, Johnny, tonight?
no, I'm just kind of excited. I mean, we've been off for freaking 2 weeks now, so I'd like to get back on that damn field, and I can't wait to actually play the villains. Honestly,
Dude, I think this is going to be a great game. This is
I
going to be,
I sure
I'm
hope so.
excited for
Me too.
it. Any other thoughts?
I just can't wait, man. Just can't wait.
I'm going to ask every guest I have on this week this question. I don't know if you've been able to watch much of County, but who do you got Saturday, Misfits or Showtime?
I'm gonna take at least Showtime by like 3 points at least.
3 points?
3 points. It's
Three
gonna be low.
points. All right. Johnny's got Showtime.
It's gonna be a low score game, a real low score game. It's gonna be all defense.
I think it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to that. And the next day, the big game of the weekend, two of the biggest ones, Showtime Misfits, Villains Green Machine, #1 versus #2.
Appreciate that, man. Can't wait.
Same. Thank you for joining us tonight, Johnny.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
All right. You have a good night, sir.
You too, man.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Johnny Cocho joining us. Anyways, let's get to #1 now. The #1 team in the league. Who else but the Reckless Villains? Bye week again last week for the Villains, so not really much to talk about. We talked about the Bees game already, so we're good to go. Everybody wants them. Let's get them on. Let's get them on. Macho Man Ron Savage. Let's get him on. Oh, yeah. I'm hitting the add button. It says adding. I always get big hype for guests, and then like it takes forever to add them. Yep. Might get a beer real quick and then come back and see if he's still at it. There it is. Welcome to the show, Ron.
What's up, Joey, man?
Nothing much, brother. How are you?
I'm ready to play some football, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm ready to play some football.
Dude, in my opinion, every day should have football.
Man, we should have like mandatory scrimmages during the week, man. Just random.
You know what? I liked what we were doing in the off season, just mixing and mashing people together and seeing like what happens.
And just doing stuff, man. I miss it, man. like 2 weeks off in the KFL and then like not winning any games in county, bruh. Like this win against Pure Chaos was actually a good feeling. Like just to get back to football, and winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it feel good to get back this Sunday, man. I know it's gonna feel good.
I can imagine it's going to feel good. Dylan's been off for a little bit. Looking forward to seeing what more you guys have and seeing what you guys got come Sunday. Let's get overlook Ron. So let's talk about the villains a little bit. So how'd you guys start out and exactly win?
TJ hit me up right before the season started, probably like, well, he had been telling us about it during the off season, and I didn't know if I was gonna even play in the KFL, to be honest. So I didn't know what I was gonna do, and TJ hit me up, and he was just like, he was putting the team together, and he had a couple of guys from a little bit of everywhere, and I hit him up one day. And right before game one, I hit him up for game one, and he threw me in the chat. And when I seen who was all in the chat, I just knew it. Like, yeah, I just knew it was gonna all come together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it all just feels so right. So I was just, I was running with that.
First game out, you guys took on TBT, a 19-0 victory. Your impressions on the win?
I mean, it was a good win overall. It was a good win because as a first a team coming to the league like that and, playing together for the first time, playing against a team that already been together, it was major for us, and that was major for us going into game two. You know what I'm saying? So, we all, confident, but winning a big game like that against TBT was actually good for the team.
Yeah, big momentum boost and a great start for the Villains. The second game you guys played, Killer Bees, bit of a close game in the first half. What exactly went on in that game?
That nobody showed up on time. I mean, like
Those
me,
8 a.m.
TJ, I
kickoffs are
believe.
killer, aren't they?
Yeah, man. Like the morning, you know how it is, man. And then half us get hour and a half drives. You know what I'm saying? So the morning games killed us. So they held in there. They held their own. But one thing that always gonna kill the Killer Bees is they think they better than what they actually are. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like they guys actually, sitting back and enjoying the game and actually playing the game and becoming better together. Once you get to talking to them and getting in their head, see, that's one thing about me. I had that advantage of being in the inside of that, franchise. You know what I'm saying? So I've been in there. I know how them guys work. You know what I'm saying? I know they're going to talk. Sometimes they even get me out my game. You know what I'm saying? So it's always fun playing against them, especially BJ. That's my boy, man.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch. And you went up against the Bees several times. I remember last year, Winter Chiller, 28-0. We put the donut on them.
Yep, put the whooping on them boys, man. That's when I thought they was gonna really like humble them, but nah, them boys very confident coming out.
We had about 6 Killer Bees on that team.
Really?
We had 6 former Killer Bees on that roster for.
I didn't even realize it, bro. I didn't even realize it.
I sat there after the game and I was
But
like, man, we got so many former Bees on our team. Holy shit.
we did actually. Now that I think about that, I never even thought about that, Joey. For real.
Just one of those things I noticed. But coming up this weekend, you got the Green Machine. You know a lot about Daniel Taylor, Johnny Cocho, and Will Brave. In fact,
yes,
they're the ones who brought you in the 9-man, if I remember correctly.
I was just about to say that. See, like Danny is the one who introduced me to 9-man, so like it's a lot of respect there. You know what I'm saying? And then playing with Will Brave with Ruckus, so I got it's what is it, with Scotty over in Baltimore. So like I've been playing with Will Brave, so he like I actually got that connection with him. That's like big brother. You know what I'm saying? So. Coach O, with the program. So, like, we all still talk. You know what I'm saying? It's all still love there. But on the field, it's fuck your team. Straight up. They all catching stiffies. They all catching stiffies.
Oh, yeah. I feel like this game, there's been a lot of heat and tension going on between both camps. Devontae Cora put out the message.
He's going to get this work though. We don't care. TJ gonna get him that. TJ gonna give him that work, man. I'm putting my money on TJ. I'm putting my money on TJ. Shout out TJ, man. TJ is gonna show this little boy he is not a grown man yet.
That's going to be one of the interesting things to watch out for is how Devontae at a young age can perform in a big game like this against a Villains team who's full of a lot of seasoned veterans who played this flag game for a while. I mean, you just put it in
seeing how he show up,
you got 30 years of experience.
Seeing how he show up is going to be a big key, with their offense. You know what I'm saying? Because their defense, we're going to score on them all day. We not really too worried about their defense. They got flag pulling Cocho, you know what I'm saying? Oh, and Donnie a good flag puller too. But besides that, I'm not really defense. Offense, Danny gonna have to make magic happen, him and Devontae, because ain't nobody else is gonna score or do anything. They not gonna score at all. But they better make every pass look good. They better make every catch look donut. That's what we handing out.
What kind of donuts you got? Krispy Kreme or Crumpies?
No. We got the nasty donuts. We make them stick.
Oh, you got
we got
the gas station donuts that you find for like cheap.
Not 7-Eleven donuts. We got donuts right there. We hand them out, make them stick. They're gonna really feel it. And then, like I said, TJ really gonna get that boy that work. You know what I'm saying? Like. And we know TJ's game. He don't know TJ like that. He never played against TJ. So this is going to be his first time playing against TJ, and he ain't going to know what to expect. You know what I'm saying? Like, TJ is he's too athletic. You know what I'm saying? He can't be stopped once he get to moving.
I'll tell you, the first time you played,
especially about a rookie.
The first time that I played against TJ Williams was back in the fall of 2016. I'm going to tell a bit of a story. It was Survivors versus the West Virginia Ducks. I was on the Ducks, and Daniel was quarterback playing with a knee injury. And we sacked him 9 times in the first half.
TJ?
No, I sacked Daniel. We were sacking Daniel. We were eating him alive.
I was about to say,
we were kicking their asses and everything. I had a sack in that game. Me.
Oh, you was eating out there, Joey. That's what I'm talking about. You
I got bug glue on his ass.
That's Danny's favorite right there. He love him some bug glue, man. And that's gonna be a big key to their offense too. Danny being able to get out that pocket and delivering them passes. Get out that pocket. It's right.
That's gonna be the biggest
offense
key.
Gonna be shut down the whole game.
And honestly,
he's not going to sit back there and deliver any passes on our defense.
But I'll tell you, Ron, what happened in that second half of that game, Daniel took himself out because he was hurt. He put TJ in. Mm-hmm. That was the first time TJ played quarterback in Washington County. And he ran our asses over. We could not guard him. Nobody on that Ducks defense could guard him. And we had the 3rd best defense that season in county.
Yeah, TJ's tough, man. See, listen, I'm going to be honest with you, man. A lot of people don't really, rock with TJ. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I respect the player for the player that he is. You know what I'm saying? So, I have a lot of respect for TJ. Me and TJ been in the same situation, with teams, ever since I've been in the league. You know what I'm saying? I met TJ playing with Mayhem in the Virginia Beach tournament. You know what I'm saying? And since then, me and TJ been rocking. So, he put me in a position to be able to, showcase my skills. You know what I'm saying? You notice I don't really play offense like that when I'm with Program, when I was with Ruckus. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really play offense, but I love to play offense. They called me over and he said, hey, I know what you can do. You know what I'm saying?
I remember your rookie year. Spring 18, Survivors had you on offense a good bit, and you were shining out there.
Yeah, because the crazy thing is, Danny he did not, listen, I'm lying. It wasn't even so much as Danny didn't want me to play offense. We had so many guys coming in and saying, oh, I play receiver, or I play this, or I play that. So I've just being as good as I am, you know what I'm saying? I know where where we needed players at. I played defense. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd rather play defense, and be great on defense than to force myself on offense and overdo myself.
Yeah. You're so basically, so you got a donut for this weekend for that game. So my question is, I already know what you think about this game. I want to know, what do you think about the showdown Saturday? I'm asking everybody this week. In fact, tomorrow night we're asking the whole world who wins that game. Who do you got? Your former team in Misfits, or do you got Showtime? I see the
I got
Misfits
miss.
jersey.
I got Misfits. If they get a kicker, it's by 3 points. If they kicker show up, I got Misfits by 3 points. But I know it's gonna be a close one, and it all depends on if Showtime can get guys. You know, I see that they came out. Misfits came out with that one quarterback from Gustolin. So like, and he's all
Bob
right. You know
Moore.
what I'm saying? So yeah. So if I know Tay not gonna be there, but it all depends on who shows up for Showtime. But I still got if everybody shows up for Showtime, I got Misfits, winning the game in a clutch by 3 points.
So Savage got Misfits by 3. All right, all right. We'll keep that noted. Um, Anything else you want to add, Ron?
Uh, no, just shout out to the Villains, man. We ready to get back to the league and man tear it up, and we'll see y'all Sunday, man.
I'll be live 9:45 a.m.
Sir.
Reckless Villains in
Yeah.
the Green Machine. Thank you for joining us, Ron. Now we head to the prediction portion of the show. Obviously, you can call in if you want. I'm taking call-ins still. Let's take a look at the two games on Sunday, beginning at 8 a.m. with Killer Bees versus the Browns. Serious history between these two. It's been one-sided. The Browns only have one win against the Bees, ever. Spring of 19, they defeated them, but that wasn't the Browns currently. That was Corey Jones's Browns. So if you want to be realistic, God, I have a headache thinking about this. Because the Corey Jones Browns is the same franchise as Tom Matthews Browns, but Tom Matthews Browns is technically the Spartans and the Immortals. God, I have a headache. God, I don't want to think about the series history. Okay, sorry, I got a massive headache thinking about like that. That's a nightmare. History wise, between those two, the Browns franchise beat them one time, but the last time the Bees played them, spring 19, it was in the playoffs, wild card round, beat them 25-0. Familiar score, Browns? 25-0 again? Jesus. You guys lose a lot of games. Yikes. In fact, the Browns actually have been outscored their last 3 games by a ridiculous margin of 93-6. Yikes. Immortal Spring 2021. Damn, Ruby, you already got like 1 foot out the door. Yeah, I got Bees winning this game. Browns have nothing. The Browns are a dumpster fire. The Bees, or at least resemble a football team. I'm going to have to give it to the Bees. I'm going Bees 42-0. They call it in the fourth quarter. Devin has his best game. BJ eats. Just hope Lurie don't show up for your sake, Browns. And now we get to the showdown. Reckless Villains, Green Machine. A lot of common threads here. This is an interesting matchup. For the first time ever, Daniel Taylor will face off against TJ Williams. It's so interesting to think about the history between these two men. It was Daniel Taylor who brought TJ up to Washington County in 2016 as part of Survivors. I told the story early on about that Survivors Ducks game where Daniel was injured and replaced himself with TJ. And TJ came in and he ran all over us. They pulled me from the game because I was too slow to catch them. TJ was just burning us. We lost that game 12-7. And after that, TJ took the Survivors to their best season ever. They fell 2 games short of making the playoffs, losing by 1 point to the X-Dogs and to the program. The Survivors were close to being an A bracket team under TJ Williams that's fall 2016 season. Shortly after, Survivors folded. Daniel moved on for a while to focus on his own self. TJ Williams, on the other hand, took a couple guys from Survivors, took a couple guys from some other teams, and formed Too Much Talent for the Hagerstown tournament in that fall 2016 year. I was on that TMT squad. And under TJ's guidance and leadership, we got to the semifinals, falling just short against the ND Titans, who went on to win the tournament over the Red Knights. I will always say, like, TJ Williams, based on that one fall alone, is one of the best premier quarterbacks in this league. And you look at the history and all the common history between all these guys on Green Machine and Reckless Villains: Ron Savage, TJ Williams, Daniel Taylor, Will Bray, Johnny Cocho, even George Nunn is a former Survivor. Even if George only played for like a brief second in one game. A lot of history. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be a battle. I'm excited. First ever meeting. But if I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be real with you all, I got the Villains. In my honest opinion, the Reckless Villains right now is the best team in the Keystone Flag Football League. They are loaded at skill position. TJ at quarterback is a dual threat. And facing off against TJ the first time is going to be the hardest time to face him because you don't know what to expect. It's different to watch film on somebody than to play them. You can watch all the film in the world you want on TJ Williams. I got footage of him from 2016. But facing him that first time is a challenge. It's really hard to beat TJ if you've never played against him. And it's hard to cover George. It's hard to cover Wayne. It's hard to cover this whole Villains team. It's hard to throw the ball against Elijah. It's hard to stop Ron. Green Machine lacks experience. Don't get me wrong. Daniel, Johnny, Will, Donnie, those guys are survivors. They played for many years. They got flag football experience. In my honest, truthful opinion, I got Villains in this game by 3 touchdowns. And I say that because I don't think the Green Machine has enough to hang in there. Their guys are inexperienced. They're not ready for this. This is their first big challenge. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, TBT was a challenge, but they did not face TBT. They didn't face what we normally have. They didn't face our full squad. This Villains team is going to be locked and loaded and ready to go. They're reckless and they're here to win. And so, in my opinion, I got Villains by 3 touchdowns. That is all for tonight. If anybody wants to call in, let me know. If not, we're going to wrap this up and get ready for tomorrow night. Here's what's going down for the rest of the week. Tomorrow night, at some point in time during that Broncos-Jets awful game, we will be live for an expert's opinion show on this week's games. Sunday, we'll be live 8 a.m. Keystone Flag Football League YouTube channel for Killer Bees versus the Browns. And then again at 9:45 a.m. for Reckless Villains and the Green Machine. So until then, I'm Joey Blaze. We'll see you Sunday morning, 8 a.m. Killer Bees Browns, Green Machine Reckless Villains. It's going to be lit, it's going to be legit, and we're going to be live. So till then, go Lakers. That's it. Fuck your team.